Hello, welcome to a video on Project Crossover. Today we're looking at the January 2022 paper. It's paper 1 and it is the regional paper. Okay, so again our sponsors, Grays Hockey, put a little comment in the comment section if you want 15% off some Grays Hockey gear. And then of course there's the channel. We are at 1.16k subscribers now, so the channel's growing. It's lovely to hear. Okay, so our first question for today, question 15 on the foundation, question 1 on the higher. Write down all the values of n that satisfy this inequality. So the first one is -2 because we're allowed it because it's got the equals sign. And then we write down all the integers until we get to 3 because we've got a decision to make. And because of that inequality not having the equals part to it means we do not include 3. Okay, part B on the number line, represent the inequality y is less than 1. So over the 1, we put our circle. Now the inequality symbol is that which kind of looks like an arrow. So it's kind of pointing in the direction we want it to go. And then because it's got that equal to bit, we are including the ink. We include the number, we include the ink. And that's our inequality. Question 2. Each time John plays a game, the probability that he will win the game is 0.65. John's going to play the game 300 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times he's going to win. So we simply multiply those two together, throw that into the calculator. That's 195. Done. Okay, question 3 or 17. Work out the perimeter of this shaded shape. It's made out of identical right angle triangles. That's really important. So on the triangle, we are given the height. So if I just draw, I'm going to just draw a triangle, just one of them. This shape's made up of triangles and that square's going to be made up of the base of the triangle. So our hypotenuse is 16. The height is 12.8 as indicated on the diagram. And then we need x. Now Pythagoras theorem states that if we do the long side squared, or the hypotenuse squared, take away another shorter side squared, we will get x squared. So I'm putting all of that into my calculator all in one go. 12.8 squared gives me 92.16 is equal to x squared. And then we square root it. That gives me 48 over 5, which is 9.6. So actually quite a nice number. That means that short length is 9.6. So we've got a 9.6 here and a 9.6 here. The only length we don't know is this one here now. And we'll find that out by doing 16. No, we won't. 12.8. Take away the 9.6. So it's a tall height or a tall length. Take away the base, the height, take away the base, which is 3.2. So that goes there. And then finally, you've just got to add them up. So 16 plus 3.2 plus 16 plus 16 plus 9.6 plus 9.6. So let me just change the color of the pen. 16, 3.2, 16, 16, 9.6, 9.6. Put that into your calculator. And we're there, 70.4 for our answer. I'm going to keep my pen in this color. Quite like this purple. Okay, 18A. So I've been showing my class how to do this a little bit differently. So I'm going to rewrite this as x in a bracket squared, take away 4, and then in a bracket x plus 3. Now, if you type it into your calculator like that, you're always going to get the correct answer. And that's because when we put the -2 in, our calculator tries to apply BIDMAS. So therefore, if you just put -2 without the brackets, it's going to do the 2 squared first and multiply it by -1. So we're going to put it in a bracket. On my calculator, it gives me a 4. Take away 4 lots of -2 in a bracket, gives me 12 plus the 3, 15. Okay, and I just work that out in my head. So that's 4 plus 8 plus 3, 15. Super. Okay, so that works. Let me just finish these off. So 1, take away 4, add 3 is 0. 2 squared is 4, take away 8 plus 3, -1, and then that will be 3 because these are parabolas. So you're going to have the symmetry of those numbers, and that's going to be your minimum point. Sometimes you'll have a pair next to each other, but they all works in pairs. Okay, let's plot this now. So -2 goes to 15. Don't know why that keyboard's popped up. And then -1 goes to 8. 0 goes to 3. 1 goes to 0. -2 to -1. And then we've got the symmetry. And then your next job is to try to draw this. So you want to have a steady hand. I was about to suggest on the Surface Pro it's not going to look great, but I've done an alright job with that. And that's our graph. We have to make sure that we don't have a flat bottom, which we're protected against because we've only got one minimum point, and that's our graph. I don't see many of them, haven't seen many of them in these videos that I've been making over the Easter. Okay, Yusuf sat 8 exams. Here are his marks for 5 of the examinations. Okay, so first bit of information, the mode of his marks is 80. So he's going to get another 80. The median of his mark is 74. So let's look at 72 and 75. How can we make 74? Well, if we add 2 together, which is what we're going to have to do with the 8, that means that there's going to be a number in here which is going to be 73. Because 73 plus 75 divided by 2 is 74. It's that midpoint value. Right, let's take another look at this. We've got 78, 72, 73, 75, 77, 80, and 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. Now the median goes in here, which means that we are missing a number on the left-hand side, and that's going to be the number that we can work out as 80 take away 16. That equals 64. And that's because 16 is the range, so 80 take away 16 gives us that minimum value, so we have 64 there. Okay, question 5 done. I'll do question 6 because I reckon the last questions might take a while. Right, work out the lowest common multiple of 36 and 120. So 36, if we put that into our calculators. In a previous video, I explained how to use this using the class whiz. But you can go to Format and Prime Factor. So 2 squared times by 3 squared is 36. And 120, Format, Prime Factor, 2 cubed times by 3 times by 5. Now to find the LCM, we take the highest of each of the numbers, the highest power, I suppose we could call it. So 2 cubed times by 3 squared. Don't know why I didn't just put 9 in there. And that gives us 360. Okay, m, n, and p are integers such that m is greater than 2, n is greater than 10, p is greater than 1. Find the highest common factor of a and b. Give your answers as product of its prime factors. Interesting. HCF means that we take the lowest of each. So it's going to be 5 times 7 times 11. Now, looking at the m's, if m is greater than 2, then 5 squared is going to be the value that we take. If n is greater than 10, and let's say it's, for example, 11, 11 take away 5 gives us 6. That's going to be bigger than the 4 on the previous one for pi, so that's just 4. And then p is greater than 1, meaning that it's just 1 there. So that's going to be our HCF. It says leave it in as a product of its prime factors. So 5 squared times by 7 to the 4 times by 11. That looked a lot harder than it was. So make sure you read these questions carefully and know your HCF from products of primes. It's come up a lot on these crossover questions. So watch those videos and make sure you understand. Okay, that's the end for part 1. I'll see you at part 2. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, spread the word, and I'll see you at part 2.